Greetings. Got a blurb on a couple of monitors here that I need to test out that I just picked up from Goodwill while thrifting. And yeah, I was first drawn to this little gateway, the FPD 1520, because it's a little flat panel LCD beige monitor, and that's just fun. You see these less and less anymore. It is a bit yellowed on the back. Just VGA-N, nothing special. I do actually have the little panel as well that goes and covers that up, but you know. Manufactured in January of 2002. I'm not expecting like the fastest response time or anything, but you know, it's neat. And yeah, each of these were $20. So it looked to be in pretty good shape, other than just being dirty, and it's got a bunch of sticker residue and like some sticky stuff right there. That should, yeah, it comes right off. Screens look great though. And then there's this that I saw afterward, just on the same shelf actually, just a little bit down from that. That is a Viewsonic VP201b, which is a, yeah, fully rotating 4:3 aspect ratio LCD panel. That's awesome. I've got a couple of rotating panels that are 16:9, but not this. And even those that I had, I think I showed them on my arcade PCB video in LGR a while back. That was just a normal monitor on a VESA mount, so it's not exactly made for it. This is, and that's great. So it's more solidly constructed, and check this out. I mean, it's got a lot of swiveling, which is just great. And it's got this nice thing in the back, which also kind of just locks into place wherever you put it. Not only that, but it's got way more inputs. A bunch of USB A and B, VGA, DVI, native 1600 by 1200 resolution, which is awesome. And any 4:3 LCD that's half decent. Yeah, honestly, I was really psyched for this, but then I saw this and looked up the specs and I'm like, holy crap. And then you start messing with it. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Now, of course, I showed the Pivot CRT variety, not of the same monitor, of course, but you know, the same idea, just a rotating display. They've been a thing for a long time in order to get portrait mode graphics, doing things like word processing and, you know, graphic design, CAD work. Usually that's what these are made for, but I think they're fantastic for gaming if you have software supported. Of course, with the Pivot though, you know, there's just a bunch of weird things where I can't really use it on something like this over here is the LGR Windows XP build. I have tried to get the Pivot going on here, but it will not sync to the graphics cards in there whatsoever. Don't know why. Even when I force it to certain refresh rates that the Pivot should support, it just doesn't want to do it. So anyway, whatever. Long story short, let's test these out because I haven't tested them. I've got them plugged in, but that's it. Haven't actually turned them on, haven't seen the panels. And let's try this little gateway first. I got it plugged into the back there, and let's just power it on. Yeah, it's on standby, so. Oh, hey, there we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Being that this is a later 4:3 LCD as well, it should automatically adjust to different resolutions and such pretty easily and quickly without having to go and mess with like an auto adjust button. Some of the NEC monitors that I have, they're very nice, the multi-syncs, but they're a little bit older than this and they have issues adjusting quickly to different refresh rates and like centering it up and getting all the, yeah, well, hey, look at that. That's looking great. Oh yeah, that's looking real good. Just adjusting the filter in the front of my lens here, but look at that. Yeah, it's not bad in terms of like response time. I can see just, you know, a bit of ghosting, but you know, it's kind of standard for the time period. Not bad though, better than I was thinking actually. So that's good. Sweet. Ooh. So I don't know what the native resolution is on here. The native resolution. Let's take it to 1024 at 768. That looks pretty good too. What? Different languages. Oh man, it's in French. Is this from Canada? Or whoever had this last? It made, okay, well, no, that's just interesting. Well, whatever. Whoever had this last, put it in French. So we'll change that. There we go. Yeah, that's looking great though. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like hard to tell. There's the auto adjust thing that I was talking about in terms of like. Okay, so yeah, it did need a little bit of adjustment. It looks like it moved it over just slightly. But I don't know, it did a pretty good job just not even touching that. It just kind of scrolls through. Neat. That's fine. Alright, let's see if we can go any higher. How's about 1280 by 960? That's out of range. I can't go down to 640 by 480 on here without doing some custom stuff, but let's open something like DOSBox. Alright, so yeah, that's 640 by 480 here. Kind of wish there was a way to just like turn off the on-screen display. It goes away automatically if there's no like exit button. Usually there's like an exit or back button, but I don't see that. Anyway, it just goes away. That's fine. We'll do the auto adjust here as well because it looks like it's slightly off center. There we go. Uh-oh. What the f? DOSBox froze? That's odd. Well, anyway, never had that happen. It was just a straight up like completely hung the system. All right, well, you know, whatever. It's a great little display. It looks like should clean up nicely. You know, like I said, that is just like sticky stuff. That'll come right off. I don't see any real. Yeah, there's like a little scratch there, little one there, but that's about it. Everything else is pretty cosmetic. But yeah, it seems to do a really nice job with scaling, honestly. I'm happy to see that. It's not, you know, it's a little soft, but overall not bad. Better than, dang it, this keyboard. Better than some of the other monitors I have of this size. I believe it's 15 inches. It looks about that. Let's check this one out now, see how this goes. I'm gonna try it vertically because I can. And another reason I wanted to use this machine in particular is because, well, I'll show you here in a second. Windows XP, or you know, the driver that I'm using with Windows XP for the NVIDIA cards that are in there, do have support for rotating through software, because of course this is not going to pivot on its own. Okay. I didn't like that. Okay, so I'm not getting anything there. I think it's on, it might not automatically switch from DVI to VGA. Ah, there we go, D-sub. Nice. Ooh, that's looking awesome. Okay, let me see if I can do this sideways. So yeah, with the these NVIDIA drivers, I'm gonna turn my head. Oh my goodness. There is a little option down here for rotation. So if I rotate it 90 degrees, what? Displays cannot be rotated unless they're set to a resolution of at least 1024 by 768. Okay. Dude! That looks so good. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm seeing, okay, I think that's just dirt. Honestly, this thing is looking fantastic. So yeah, unlike that pivot CRT connected to that special video card, you're not going to get automatic pivoting on its own because there's no sensor inside to do that. Now the Radius pivot uses a mercury switch, a little sensor in there, and whenever it moves around, it sends a signal to the graphics card to rotate everything through software. But, you know, that's kind of an uncommon feature on rotating monitors. But this, nah, man, you got it through software and it's looking truly, truly good. And I love the fact that it's 4x3. I mean, you know, obviously it looks really tall this way, but that's just how it is. It was interesting to see all the different folks in the comments for my radius video saying like, oh, I thought 4x3 CRTs were square. But you turn it sideways and it looks long. And it's like, well, yeah, it's 4x3, not 4x4 or 1:1 or what, you know. But yeah, you turn any monitor on its side that's a 4x3 and, you know, it looks tall. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with most tablets, or a lot of tablets, like iPads, for instance, are 4x3. It's just one of those things where I suppose if you don't have much experience with 4x3 displays, or you've just never really thought about it, then yeah, old TVs and monitors and everything, when you turn them sideways, they look tall. So yeah, I really like this. Let's see, what can I run on here that's awesome? I mean, obviously you got solitaire that scales, but it's not the most ideal thing because it doesn't really scale the card size. You know, Space Cadet you'd think would be pretty awesome because it's pinball and you got a vertical table, but that's just not how this game scales. You go full screen and you're going to get it sideways. That's just kind of the thing for games. Most titles simply aren't taking rotation into consideration. The aquarium screensaver just puts black bars on top and bottom. I actually wasn't expecting that. Well, yeah, let me go and look through my games real quick and see if I can find something that will have a rotation or, you know, a nice scaling capability within Windows. One that I do know will kind of work is Raiden 2, the PC port. If you maximize it, there you go. You do have a kind of vertical mode Tate experience. Of course, you still see some of the Windows interface. Unfortunately, this is one of those where if you go into full screen, it's just not gonna bother with rotating or anything like that. It's just gonna be sideways. And that sucks, because it would be kind of an ideal game to get going on this kind of a display. But I don't believe there is any way to like switch it over to full screen Tate. It just doesn't seem to, I don't know. If there is an option for it, I'm not aware of it in this port. That being said though, yeah, let's just give it a little bit of a quick play. And crap, I don't have any sound or any speakers plugged in. Whatever. Just imagine the explosions. Yeah, do you love this game? Always enjoyed playing this back in the day. Anytime that I could on different PCs with either a rotating display or, you know, we would sometimes literally just take a monitor and put it on its side. And that was always fun. But yeah, I don't remember actually doing that in full screen. It was always just like this, where it was just maximized in Windows. Whatever though. Games like this are literally made for portrait mode, vertical mode, orientation displays like this. 4x3 turned on its side. Yeah. Much more common, of course, in arcades than it ever was at home. All right, another thing I want to try on here is MAME. Yeah, good old MAME UI, old version from 2008. Because it's Windows XP. And let's get over to the vertical mode games. Check all these out. This old ROM set, 0.128. All kinds of stuff that'll work natively vertically. So yeah, let's just go to Absolute, one of my favorites. And yeah, it's going to fill up the entire 4x3 screen because that is the aspect ratio that the game was meant to play at. The arcades just had a CRT inside the thing, rotated sideways. So. And yeah, I have the speaker going now because I couldn't stand to play Galaga without sound. Well, that was badly placed. There we go. Ooh. Over here, you jerk. Alright, so anyway, perfect for MAME or visual pinball or any kind of really arcade emulation is just great. There are so many arcade games that are meant to be played in a vertical orientation like this, and that is precisely why I wanted one of these. I mean, I mentioned in my Radius video I'd like to get a modern, just sort of like, like a 16:9, maybe 4K something or other, and put in portrait mode beside my ultra wide, just to have something off to the side there whenever I'm working on things so I can rotate it back and forth. I don't know. I'll need a bigger desk before I ever do that. But for this, yeah, I wanted it for things like this here, or any system that will have some vertical mode games to play, but notably arcade games. That is my biggest desire, and that is playing all of my arcade PCBs that are vertical mode games, notably the Raiden series of games. Yeah, get a super gun connected to this, and yeah, you got VGA out, goes directly into here, and that's just an ideal situation because I can rotate back and forth with all the different PCBs I have. Again, see my arcade PCBs video for more information. What else do I want to try really quick? Whatever, let's go with Finalizer. Love this game. I do have the PCB for this one as well. Oh yeah, this is back when it had that issue. I think it's better emulated now. Like 13 years later, 14 years, whatever, 13, yeah. What is this, 2021? I don't know. Yeah. Definitely some sound emulation issues. Whoops. Oh no, the shield didn't do anything. There we go. Oh, this game is so cool! And it's just great being able to play on a native, like 3x4 display here, It should clean up very nicely. Check out my LGR Thrifts episode if you'd like to see, me picking them up. I mean, it's just them on a shelf, but yeah, got them at a thrift store. Not bad. Two of my better finds in a very long time, honestly. A couple years. Don't always find really good monitors like this, especially at the same time. I rambled on long enough in this blurb. Thank you very much for watching these monitors. Now I gotta clean them up.